Hi, beautiful souls. This is April with Divine Beacon. I wanted to talk to you today about nurturing yourself. So, this is such a very important thing, and one of the reasons I wanted to start with this is because I feel like a lot of people don't understand how to nurture themselves or don't think they should be nurturing themselves. And the best way I can explain it is that we have to put on our own airbag, just like in an airplane, before we can help other people. So, a fruitful, joyful, meaningful life is when you can help others, and you can't do that unless you take care of yourself. So, this is really, really, really important, and I hope you all get something from it. We're very much taught that if we take care of ourselves, that we're selfish. If we take care of ourselves, we have all this extra time and we're not doing other things that we're supposed to. If we take care of ourselves, we're neglecting our family, our friends, other things. So I'm here to say that's all hogwash. And it is very important for you to take care of yourself. And I wanted to not just talk about the programming of taking care of ourselves and why, that occurs, but also about how important it is for today and all the changes that are going on. So we have been programmed by society, by other people, that we aren't supposed to take care of ourselves. We're supposed to work, be everything to everyone, and we don't take a breath and really figure out much if we're going at that speed. So that's one thing, is life is very unclear and very chaotic and very happening to us instead of us being a little proactive when you're in that mode. And I very much am not sitting on my high horse saying that I've never been in that mode. I've been in that mode most of my life. So the reason I can speak to it so well is because I've been doing that for a very long time, because I thought that's what I was supposed to be doing. When you sit back and say, well, why am I doing these things, and why am I supposed to, or why should I? The shoulda, coulda, wouldas is what I like to call them. So harmony and balance is what we're all seeking right now, with all the shifts that are happening in so many different ways. We are all seeking harmony and balance, and one of the ways I know to do that is through getting in touch with ourselves by nurturing ourselves. It's our mind, body, and soul. And the soul is really what I call the heart. It's what you feel in your heart. Are you doing things in your heart that are meaningful for you? Or is that the thing that gets put on the back burner? I know for me and my family, all the women in my family, we're taught to absolutely put all our needs on the back burner, so that everybody else can be happy and healthy and fruitful. So I'm not saying, become it all about me and be a selfish person. I'm saying you need to really have some harmony and balance in your life, and most people don't. Okay, so I'm going to share with you what I suggest. Some of these are from me, some are from family and friends that I actually do. I will comment to those, and it's a list of, 16, 17 things that I think are ways that you can nurture yourself. Do you need to do all of them? No, I don't expect you to do all of them. Do you need to try to incorporate one or two of them, or something that you do on your own? Absolutely. If there's anything on here that you guys want to share in the comments that I haven't shared, that you really enjoy, that nurtures yourself, then please do share with us. I would love that. So the first thing on my list is meditation and prayer. And I know this is going to get a lot of eye rolls from people, but it's so very important. You have to have it in your life, whether it's 3 minutes in the car when you're parking your car before you walk into work, or if you have 5 minutes before you start doing things around the house in the morning. It doesn't have to be a long period of time. Meditation is when you're receiving from, whatever you believe, a universal source, God, Allah, whatever. Prayer is your request or your gratitude in what's going on in your life. So those two things are first on my list. If you don't know how to meditate, you can go to a lot of YouTubes. There's a lot of apps now. There's guided meditations. If you don't want to do any of that guided stuff, you can just check on your breath and start breathing. That is really just a great way to start meditation. Set a little kitchen timer. Sit in a way that's comfortable for you. Doesn't matter. I don't suggest laying down in case you go back to sleep. And then just count your breaths, and that way nothing can come into your mind. If something does come in, just tell it thank you and go back to centering yourself. We don't take enough time to be in our center and in our body. So that's very important. Prayer and meditation is number one. I play with my new puppy in the morning. You might hear her periodically in the background. She brings me such joy. We go outside. I sit in nature with her in the backyard. I sit on the ground with her in the morning and play with her. You have to have play in your life. So if you don't have any play in your life as an adult, you need to find some. What do I mean by that? I don't care if it's skipping, if you, like coloring, which is, some people do adult coloring. If working out is your play, doing some kind of sport, playing with your kids, definitely you have to have play in your life. Playing games with other people, even grown-ups, always fun. So schedule that in whenever you can. And all of these things, by the way, you need to have in your schedule or your calendar, and they're not going to happen, right? So you really need to make sure that you get these in. Another way, I have a girlfriend who gets a cup of coffee, or you could use herbal tea, doesn't have to be coffee, and sit on the back porch, listens to nature in a quiet time before she starts to get ready. That's another beautiful way to do what I call just a sitting meditation, just to relax and not think at all. So that's another thing you can do to nurture yourself. Walking and exercise. I'm going to get more eye rolls here, but walking and exercise. So you need to move your body. If you can't do it in the morning, then wherever it is, whenever it is, you have to schedule it in your calendar. It's not going to happen, right? So the reason is not what you think. It's not to lose weight. It's not to keep all those calories off, whatever. It is absolutely to move your body. We were meant to move. So if you don't get your blood flowing in your body, it's going to affect your brain. It's going to affect your decision making. It's going to affect everything. When I learned this of thinking about exercising a little differently, now it just, changed my perspective and changed how I feel about it, period. I'm not doing it to break a sweat and exhaust myself so that the rest of my day I'm tired and I need 5 cups of coffee. I'm doing it to get my blood moving. You can just do your own types of stretches on the floor. Again, there's all kinds of yoga apps and YouTubes and things for free. You don't have to do full-on cardio first thing in the morning. So just get your body moving, and you can incorporate some of what I'm talking about together. Like sometimes I'll do a walk with a meditation, and or I'll be listening to, some spiritual people talk about a topic I'm interested in, which brings me to my next topic is listening to things that bring me joy. So when I was in my corporate job, I would drive to work and I would listen to the comedy channel, clean comedy channel. There's all kinds of comedy channels out there for women, for men, clean, not clean, whatever you like. But that was one way I would bring joy to my life in the morning, just starting to laugh first thing in the morning. Laughter is good medicine. I listen to stand-ups all the time at family and friends. I'm always watching the latest stand-up. So, laughter is really good for the soul. I listen to spiritual people. I listen to things that I'm interested in. My hobby is art. I have an art business on the side. I also love what I am a professional at, which is marketing. So I listen to a lot of marketing podcasts and people out there that are, making things change in the marketing world as well. So always good to have these things kind of in your back pocket when you have time. You're sitting in the doctor's office, or you're at a meeting for PTA meeting, and something's happening that doesn't involve you, or some kind of dead time. Sometimes even in a long line, you can pop in one of your earbuds in one of your ears and start to listen to what's going on. So that's one of the ways that I bring joy to myself. So another way is buying flowers. I buy flowers for myself every week. It is not a very big expense. I'm not talking about spending a whole lot of money. When you go to the grocery store, whatever grocery store it is, they usually have a very low cost version of a bouquet. You don't have to spend $10. You can spend $3 to $5. You can even get single bud vases, but it's something that makes me happy. Sometimes I get a $10 bouquet, and I split it up between my living room, my table, my dining room, my kitchen, my bedroom. Just depends on the week and how I feel. But, it doesn't have to be a big cost. That's something that makes me happy. These are just ideas for you. And then one thing I do on the weekends is I buy organic food, and then on Sundays, I make it. And I love cooking. It's part of me being creative. If you don't like it, then that's okay too. If you don't plan on doing it, again, these are just suggestions, but I do it on Sundays. I put on some really cool music that I love, and I cook, and it's my happy time. Sometimes I cook with other people, and that really makes me happy. So I cook a whole batch of something for lunch for the week. I cook a whole batch of something for dinners for the week, and then by Friday, I'm all done, and I'm usually going out on the weekends, but just depends on what's happening. And I start all over again that Sunday. So it really is a time saver. If you have a big family, then maybe you have to do that 2 or 3 times a week, but hopefully that's helpful. And then when cleaning, I know this is silly, but I love certain types of music. I go on Pandora. I listen to different, genres of music that made me very happy from back in the day, and that some people might think is very corny, but I like it. And I clean to that, and it really makes cleaning a whole different thing for me. I actually am looking forward to it because I know I'm going to dance and sing and get down while I'm cleaning. And if you have people around you, and you can't do that, maybe just get wireless headphones, and then nobody needs to know that that's what you're doing. Another thing is I try to reach out to the people that are important to me. I have a list on my phone. Do that not every day, maybe every other day. And I go out and try to connect with them. So most of them, don't live close. So I have to reach out to them to say, hey, let's chat sometime soon. Just want to catch up. Hope everything is good. I also plan a lot with my family and friends. Usually I have something to look forward to in the future. That's always really something that's helpful in nurturing that you do for yourself. So not to keep it too busy. Like I said, I usually only have one thing on the weekend that I do, and then the rest of the time is my time to get my head on straight, to have my downtime, to do what I need to do to prep for the next week. So I know some of you probably won't have that. You have lots of kids, or things are crazy, whatever. There's ways to do it, and if we need to talk about it, just let me know. But there's ways to get other people to help you, so you can have even a half day to yourself to get some of this done. That would be great. So I have a hobby that I do on a regular basis. I paint oil or acrylic on canvas, and I love doing that. It's kind of my therapy, and I suggest it for anybody, even if you can't paint. There's things you can learn and do just to have that playtime. It's really, really important. And then listening to your body. This is something that I'm learning this year that is so very important, and it's very new to me, and I'm so happy that I'm learning it to share it with you. You have to listen to your body. And what do I mean by that? I'm talking about eating and sleeping. So we're programmed and taught to eat 3 times a day at minimum, sometimes 5, 6 times a day to build up your metabolism, allegedly. But you don't need to do that. I'm here to say that, flat out. I listen to my body, and my body doesn't want to eat until noon. And then I'll have something at noon or 11:30ish. And then I will also eat at, 3, 4, 5 o'clock. And then I'll eat again at maybe 6, 7, 8, depending on when I ate, in the midday for me. So listen to your body. We don't have to eat when we're told. We don't have to eat 3 meals a day because we're told. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I have 1 meal and I'm fine because I'm not hungry at all. You have to check in and sit there and say, am I hungry right now? And sit and actually check in with your body. I've never done that till recently and thought, I'm not really that hungry. No, I'm just doing it because I'm in front of the television, or I'm doing it because I'm supposed to do it. I'm at a movie, or I'm doing it because I'm supposed to eat right now because we planned a 7 o'clock dinner with the family, right? So just check in with yourself. Be kind to your body. It's important. Now, for sleeping, I have been able to figure out that my sleep habits, I sleep 8.5 hours as my optimum sleep time. How did I figure that out? I've, let myself sleep until I got up naturally and monitored that that's the optimum time for me. Some people might need 5 hours, some people 6, some people 7.5, some people 9 or 10. You got to listen to your body. Again, if I don't get that 8.5 hours of sleep, then I'm not good the next day. I mean, probably 8, I'd be fine, but not any less than that. It's really taxing on me. And that's the way my body works. Again, you've got to listen to what your body's doing, and you can't figure that out till you try it and start paying attention, which is something I haven't been doing. And it sounds so simple and easy, but it's just checking in with your body. And if you need quiet time, if you have a headache, if you, are not wanting to be around people for some reason and you don't understand why, honor yourself. You guys, it's so important, because if you push yourself to do things that is not honoring yourself, and you think, oh my gosh, I have such a headache. I know it's so-and-so's birthday. I'm so very sorry. I can't come. My head is splitting. I need to go lay down. You have to check in with yourself, and even if people don't believe you, it's okay. It doesn't matter. If that's what people think, then maybe they shouldn't be your friend. Right? So you've got to take care of yourself and really make it a priority. So another one is saying no, and this is something I'm getting better at. It's so very hard to say no to people when they're inviting you to things and you think, I'm already obligated to go to something, and now I have to say no because I want to honor my time that we've just talked about, all those things that I have to go through to make sure I'm okay. And, of course you have to weigh it, but in my mind, if it's not something very, very, very important, then you just have to decline and say, I can't, I'm already committed to other things. Thank you so much, but let me know next time. If you can give me a little notice, then I'd be happy to come next time. Okay. So, or something like that. If people say, well, what are you doing that's so important that you can't come? Say, it's personal, it's important, and you need to learn how to back people up, even if it's your family members. They need to learn how to respect you as an adult and say, okay, I need to understand that she's doing what's best for her right now, and it's not against anybody personally. And sometimes it is, but in most cases it isn't. So just be able to say no, start learning how to say no. And again, those shoulda, coulda, wouldas that come up, you feel like you should or you have to. And most of the time when I do that, I regret it. I regret it fully. Now, another thing I do to honor myself is I'm not drinking anymore, except in very, minimal social situations. And even then, it's one, maybe two drinks, that's it. And it's very sporadic. So that's something I'm doing to honor my body. I'm realizing, and this is, again, just me, that I may be allergic. And that's really, really, poisoning to my body because the way it reacts, even with just one or two drinks. So, that's not everybody, but that's just another way that I honor myself. Another thing is I volunteer. And volunteering is so very important, I think. Not just giving people money, for a cause. You need to get involved. And I pick one. Just pick one every year. The one that I've been dedicating myself to lately is called A Kid's Place. It's a shelter for kids that keep the siblings together in individual cottages with a caretaker, and they try to get the families back together and get the mom and or dad in a place where they can have the children back. So really like the concept. I really like what they're doing there. I actually have every year I conduct art classes for them, and my mom helped me this year. So volunteer, pick something, and get involved. That way, if you have 5 things that you donate to, that's great, but you're not getting involved. So get involved. Another way a friend of mine does it is buys, 5-6 meals, to-go meals, takeout meals, even fast food if you wanted to, but I would recommend something more healthy. But you can get pre-made meals at the store, whatever, and go and give those to some of the homeless people. Or Feed the Hungry, has a lot of volunteer options. Anything that you're passionate about, especially around the holidays, there's a lot to contribute to. The Thanksgiving, Feed the Hungry is always something nice. There's a lot of soup kitchens and churches, etc. So just get involved in some way of something that you're passionate about. And that brings me to gratitude journal. So if you aren't doing this, this is one way to bring joy into your life, but it also nurtures your soul. It's and you don't have to have a journal if you want to just do this in your quiet time in the morning and say, okay, what are the 3 things I'm grateful for today? And it can't be the same 3 from yesterday. So I always do this, and it's in my prayer time, and it really brings joy to your life. If you can make it a journal, even better, because you can go back and look at it, which sometimes people like. If you're not that person, then fine. But find things to be grateful for, even if you don't have a job right now, or, things are looking bleak in your life. As far as someone passing away or someone leaving you, or, whatever it is, if you start to be grateful for the basic things, you realize it's not as bad as you thought it was. And when you have this gratitude all the time, it really starts to show you how great your life is. So have a gratitude time or journal at some time in your life. Another thing I do is a night of beauty. So I actually put it on my calendar for Thursday nights usually. It's called my knob night, N-O-B, Night of Beauty. It's in on my calendar. And what do I do in my night of beauty? It's time for me. You know, in the past when I was married or, you know, dating, it's nobody but me time, and nobody's allowed to participate or even, you know, be around while I'm doing some of these things for myself. But I take a salt bath, and then I groom myself and do beauty treatments from head to toe, from my hair to my face to my eyebrows, teeth whitening, you know, on and on and on and on and on. So shave my legs, I do my toenails, my nails. So it takes several hours to go through all of that, but I really, 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 really love it. And it's my time to nurture myself. Now, again, you guys might be rolling your eyes at me and say, I can't do that every week. I don't have that kind of time. I have 5 kids. Well, maybe once a month or once every quarter or whatever you can do to figure it in. But I highly recommend it. It's like a spa day at home. Another way I nurture myself is to recently give myself unconditional love, which is something very new for me. We are not taught how to love ourselves. We're very much taught how to judge ourselves and how to really, you know, call out all the things we do wrong and that we're not good at. This is one of the biggies, is you have the ability to love yourself, and no one teaches you these things. No one teaches you how to say, I love you, April, you're beautiful, and walk out the door. You know, I have 87 things that I don't like about myself, probably more than that, but not just physically. You know, there are a lot of things that I need to work on and I have to change. And I still love myself anyway. We're not meant to be perfect. We're meant to be human, and we are human beings, and we need to embrace that. And anybody who is trying to call us out because of it, we need to correct them and say, I'm a human being trying to learn here. And I appreciate if you would give me some common courtesy or respect or whatever the situation is. So call people out, and it's not going to change until we start talking about it in regular conversation and talking positive about ourselves. So when you do something wrong, like, I don't know, I'm just going to make up something like I can't fix the printer. Then I have somebody here who's trying to use my printer. And I say, God, I'm horrible at technology. Why did I even think I could do it? Now they think I'm an idiot, you know, and blah, 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 blah. Don't do that to yourself. We're not meant to know everything. We're not meant to do everything. It's okay that you didn't know how to do that or that you screwed up. You know, you might have known and something happened and it went awry. So you need to be kind to yourself. We're so hard on ourselves in so many different ways, and I plan on talking about that a little more in a future video. But you really got to stop judging, and that self-talk that you have inside of you, we really got to work on that, because that's the first place where we need to change in ourselves so that everybody else and the dynamic of the world can change. Okay, so I am so grateful for you all. Thank you for listening if you've stuck with me up to this point, and look forward to the next video. Light and love to you. Ciao for now.